You are listening to the best of the Classic Metal Show podcast. Catch the Classic Metal Show every Saturday from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern Time over at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. The following podcast is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Coin-Operated Gaming Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Hopewell Township, Pennsylvania. Over 400 video games and pinball machines there for you to play. It's all vintage. It's all good. So come on out and play it over at the Pennsylvania Coin-Operated Gaming Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Pennsylvania. For more information on the Gaming Hall of Fame, go to www.coinophof.com. And now let's get to it on another edition of the best of the Classic Metal Show.
Something brand new from that rat bastard Stephen Piercy with One More Time. And we want to thank Stephen Piercy for being a part of the show tonight. And got to agree with Joe Freelance, very sweet emotionist.
It is, and I think he play just the intro riff again. Can you do that?
Of this song?
Yeah, of that song.
Okay.
Sort of like this. Anyway.
Well, what was that?
That is a song called My Burning Time from a band called Last Crack.
Okay.
Which, as soon as I heard it, I fucking immediately went and pulled it up.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, it does have a sweet emotion thing, and it does have that riff.
Well, it's definitely the bass line.
Yeah.
But those two songs that Steven's released, I Can't Take It and One More Time. Wow, strong material.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
If he had a whole record, which he says he's working on, obviously, if he had a whole record of that, that would be an easy listen, that's for sure.
It certainly wouldn't be a fueler, now would it?
No, not at all. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
All right. It's Steve Jackson.
Oh, it's Steve again. What's going on, Steve?
Somebody wanted me to recant the story of visiting the KKK Museum.
Does that somebody have a name?
Me.
I don't know. Somebody in the damn chat room. I don't know.
I want to hear this story.
Okay.
Well, hold on, Steve. Before you even start, let's set some background to this. How many crosses have you burned?
Me, none. But I'm sure people around me within a 30-mile radius have burned a few.
Have you ever seen one on fire, Steve?
No, I've never actually seen one. Because I grew up in the inner city, if you want to call that, of Greenville, South Carolina, that is.
Where you live now, Steve, if you go into the grocery store and there's a black man in there, is he the only one in the aisle?
Probably not, because I go to Walmart grocery store or Aldi where poor people shop, so shit. There's likely to be a few. Anyway,
so you're a budget shopper.
Oh, definitely. Food costs too fucking much these days.
And anywhere that takes an EBT card, you're there.
Oh, no, I don't roll like that. I work from a food.
I didn't say you carried an EBT card. I said anywhere that accepts an EBT card.
Yeah. Well, hell, fucking convenience stores around here accept them now.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. But no, let me back it up. Let me set the
tone.
Here.
Set the picture. Paint a picture for us.
Okay, somewhere around
and a white drop cloth.
Okay, so somewhere around 1993, 1994, has anyone, I'm sure listeners of the show have heard of the Redneck Shop. It was an infamous store down in Lawrence, South Carolina.
I have not heard of it, but please elaborate.
The owner, there was actually a story on 2020 about it, because the owner was a Klansman himself, and there was a whole, protest against it and all this shit. Anyway, so my dad and I, back around 93, 94, I must have been, I was somewhere around 11 or 12 years old, we went to the Redneck Shop down in Lawrence, which is, I said I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina. If anyone's heard of the illustrious Bob Jones University, that's where that is.
Well, that was actually the impetus behind the actual original version of the song by the 5-man acoustical jam band Signs.
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of that?
I was not aware of that, huh?
That's where the song actually originated, was because of Bob Jones University.
Oh, okay. I used to deliver flowers many years ago, and I would, take flowers to that university, and people would look at me like I was a fucking alien when I drove up in there in the van.
Was it flowers to families that had a member lynched?
Not that I'm aware of, but I think it was just Valentine's flowers and stuff like that.
I see. Okay.
But anyway, let me get back to the Redneck Shop.
Well, wait a minute. Let's put this in context here.
Slow down, Steve. We're going to let you tell the whole story.
If this takes till 3 a.m. Eastern time to get the story done,
we're telling it.
We're going to tell the story. But if people are not aware of the Bob Jones University, maybe even Chris doesn't know this.
I know nothing about it.
All right. Bob Jones University was a very, very strict, conservative Christian school. And, they were very, at least back in the 70s anyway, 60s and the 70s, the quote unquote, the men and the women, or guys and gals that went to the school, there was no interaction between the two. Like, the guys had a sidewalk and the girls had a sidewalk, and there was no touching or holding hands or kissing or nothing allowed. Public display of affection.
Sounds terrible.
Well, it was a very buttoned down, very straight-laced school, and they had signs everywhere that, no holding hands, no skirts above the knee, no, you couldn't leave, you couldn't go to class without, the guys had to wear a shirt and a tie.
Okay.
It was very
still that way.
Very strict, very strict school.
Well,
and
go ahead.
And apparently as the tale goes, the song Signs was actually about Bob Jones University.
Okay. I have a question for Steve about his dad. Why was your dad deciding to take you to Redneck Store?
He just, he loved the South, and
he wanted to bring his son up. He wanted to bring his son up right.
The only thing he bought was actually a Confederate battle flag sticker he put on the camper of his truck, which is the square version of what you might consider the stars and bars.
Okay.
But he's just, Southern man. That's, he was interested because there was around 93, 94, there was a lot of, use a wrestling term, heat on that store. People protesting NAACP and such, and just kind of, a lot of people were frowning on Lawrence for allowing such a store to operate. But anyway, we went there, and like I said, I was about 11 or 12 around then, and you walk into the store, and the front of the store is just all, as far as you could fucking see, Confederate flag stuff. Just like Neeley says, you wear your X, I'll wear mine shirts. And
Leonard Skinner was very eloquent in saying that, so it wasn't me. I can't take credit for that that piece of poetry there.
Right on. But just all kinds of stuff like that. Visors, sunglasses, you name it. With a fucking Confederate flag on it. They were selling it. But as you walk towards the back of the store, there was a curtain. And of course, me being the curious kid, I was like, what the fuck's behind that curtain? So I go, peeping behind it. And the first thing I saw when I walked behind this curtain was a dummy in a Klansman robe. And I was like, oh, shit. Because, I'd never been to any rallies or anything, but I was like, wow, this is real.
So at the age of, what did you say, you were 12? 10, 12?
Yeah, probably about 12 or so. Yeah.
But so you understood what the KKK was all about and the Klansmen's robes and all that? You understood that at that age?
Oh, yeah, I know about that.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just asking.
Age, yeah.
Just asking.
Steve, in your household, were you allowed to watch or play basketball?
Considering I was super shitty at sports, I mean, I could, but, there was really no point in it. There was nothing against it, I guess. My dad was a heavy, he was a big fan of the Atlanta Braves, but, all the black dudes on those teams were of Spanish descent, I guess, back in the 90s.
He's a big Dale Murphy fan, right?
Yeah, Sosa and all them. But anyway,
did your dad demonstrate the tomahawk chop in a realistic setting?
No, but it was going on all the time at the games back then.
Okay.
Did your father stop watching golf the second Tiger Woods debuted?
No. He continued being a big fan of golf. After Tiger, he was a fan of Tiger. Actually, he
was a fan of the Asian side.
Right.
Tiger was acceptable. That's what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Well, Dad kicked the bucket about a year ago, but he was still into Tiger. He was a fan. Didn't give a fuck about the scandal and all. But I guess you call it a scandal. But anyway, so I go behind this curtain and I see the fucking Klansman dummy robe, and I'm like, holy shit. So I keep walking. It's kind of like a little hallway of sorts, and there's like tables, right? So they have like color copied posters of grand wizards and shit, like them in ceremonies and stuff. Like
that's an interesting terminology used. Colored copies.
Colored copies. But no, they had you could buy posters and stuff, and they had all kinds of literature and stuff about joining the Klan and.
Were they colored copies of literature, or was it literature that mentioned the coloreds?
That was literature that mentioned the colors, I guess you could say. But the posters of the Grand Wizards and stuff were in full color. But it was interesting to say the least. I could say I'll probably never forget it. But my dad, he actually I guess maybe just for shits and giggles, got some of the literature about joining the Klan, and it was stuff along the lines of the Chick Tract is, where it's a little comic book as far as. It has a real religious simplification at the end where it's like, if you would, obsessed with the Lord, you wouldn't be going to hell and stuff, little comic book Chick Tract things.
All right.
It was stuff kind of like that, but about joining the Klan. It was saying, stuff along the lines of, school used to be a place you could go and learn and fall in love and meet somebody, but now it's overrun by all these apes and niggers and the Jews and this and that, and I was like, wow, this is interesting.
So did he take enough to put one under every windshield of the car at the place of employment?
No. Hell, by that point, my dad had retired from the state. He used to work for the health department. And
was Robert Byrd a personal hero of his?
Robert Byrd.
Actually, I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
He's a West Virginia senator that was part of the Klan at one point.
Oh, okay. Never heard of him. Okay, no, I don't. Not that I know of. No David Duke fans either, I guess, at our house. But yeah, it was interesting, man. I've been to a Klan museum, and the owner guy that was actually the owner of the redneck shop was on 2020, but they were trying to interview him. But he was throwing rocks to camera crew, saying "fuck off." It It was something. It might be on YouTube. I have never actually looked, but yeah, it was interesting. Man, the store is actually closed down now, but I think it only closed about 5 years or so ago.
So the Redneck Shop was a Klan museum.
Well, it was up on the front. It was just, we're selling everything with the fucking rebel flag you can think of. But in the back, it was a Klan museum, yeah, and had literature as far as if you wanted to join up, you could. And, as far as I can, I've heard of such that there's still, some active Klan around this area.
Did the Klan Museum happen to have a pinball arcade attached to it?
Unfortunately, no, because I'm a big fan of pinball, and I would love to go to Chris's opening, but, Pittsburgh's quite a hop and a skip away from here, and these motherfuckers barely let me ever have a Saturday off that I work for, so.
Bastards.
Is there any more to this story? You had me intrigued.
No, I mean, if you have any questions, fire away, but that's about it.
Well, once you experienced the Klan Museum and was part of the store, obviously your father made a conscious effort to take his young son there and indoctrinate him in everything that was white and right about this country. Was there any discussion on the way home?
No, not really, but he did often say, if I was acting a fool or something, he'd say, "Son, act white." He'd say, "Boy, act white. What are you doing?" And
how did you interpret that? How do you interpret that even in today's vernacular?
That just means act proper,
So basically, that's indicating that anyone who doesn't act proper is basically an animal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But I got to say, it was interesting. I'll never forget it. I mean, it was over 20 years ago, but
it's like it happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, I can vividly remember it because it was actually like the store was an old like movie theater or something that had closed down. It still had like the marquee, but it just said the Redneck Shop instead of now playing or something. But down in Lawrence, but I'm still in the upstate. Lawrence is about 45 minutes away from where I live now.
Well, being that this was an old theater, do you think that the former owner of the Redneck Shop might have been, persuaded to put on musical shows and maybe perhaps have somebody like the Lynch Mob play?
Nice. I don't know. He probably. I mean, I'd hate to see what George Lynch's guarantee is. He probably only listened to David Allan Coe and Johnny Rebel and stuff like that. If I had to guess, you guys ever heard Johnny Rebel?
Absolutely. That is David Allan Coe under a different name, is it not?
I don't know. I think it's a different guy.
I've heard different, but I don't know that as fact.
You should play some on the show. It'd be interesting.
Did your dad listen to any Motown?
No, but my mother did, and I'm a fan of Motown. I actually have, the best of Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. But you guys probably think that we're all backwards down here, but really, people are a lot more racially integrated and less prejudiced than you probably think. Actually.
No, my brother actually lives there in South Carolina.
Oh, what part?
I don't know. I've never been there.
Oh, just come visit, Neeley.
Yeah, Neeley.
We have really good barbecue. We have really good barbecue down here.
No, I used
you can visit.
back in the early 90s when I used to drive a truck. I used to travel through there quite often down along I-85 out of Charlotte down toward Atlanta. So I used to go through there quite a bit.
And you rolled your windows up, locked the doors, and didn't stop.
Right.
I drive a truck now, and I hit 85 pretty frequently as well.
Sure.
Yeah, cool story. Just thought I'd share that with you guys since somebody seemed to be interested. But yeah, if you have any more questions,
No, that's all right. That's good enough. Let's not ruin it.
Right on. All right, well, take it sleazy. Hell and kill. Fuck you guys. Hand job. Quit taking John and fucking the Australian fuckers' calls. Fuck you, pal.
Wow,
Man,
that's a long ass out.
I tell you, very, very interesting.
Jeez.
Our fans definitely have, diverse experiences,
I guess.
which
Jeez.
I like that. I like that.
We're learning everything.
I know. I mean, you and I have been entertaining the fans for 20 years now, and
It's their turn.
it's their turn to entertain us. So if you got something, as good as Steve Jackson or, equal or better, I want to hear.
Yeah, if you've visited the Klan Museum, we're definitely interested.
Right. The Klan Museum.
Klan Museum.
The Redneck Shop.
The Redneck Shop and the Klan Museum.
Right. It's hidden behind a curtain.
Like porn in a video store.
That's what I thought his use of verbiage was pretty funny because he said he saw this curtain and he took a peep behind it.
Yeah, he sure did.
It was like a peep show.
Right. Wow, that was something.
Yeah. The Klan Shop.
The Klan Shop.
I like it. You guys crack me up.
This fucking show. What happened?
I know. Well, people tune in for whatever reason. The downloads are screaming again this week.
I know.
It's just like you guys, man. I'm telling you, I love it. I love the fact that you guys download and listen to the show all week long.
Dude, you and I were talking about, this is a rare week that you and I had like a lot, 2 long conversations?
Yeah, we had a couple long conversations this week.
Doesn't happen often. We did about 4 hours of show this week before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny how, we were talking this week about how we had to do everything in segments and everything had to be planned, hoping we could get 6 hours.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about how we used to do different actual segments of the show that were planned out, like the Rocks Hard, Hardly Rocks song, the Sleaze Rock song of the week.
Right. Featured album that we would play 12 songs.
Yeah, we'd play at least half the album.
Right.
And, things like that. And, we used to rely heavily on a lot of clips too.
Sure.
We used to play a lot of clips and, the show has definitely evolved.
It's definitely not that show anymore.
No.
Not by a long shot.
But that's what's kept it going for so long, is that it hasn't grown stagnant and the same old all the time.
Yep, definitely.
See, Jackal went Indian Tales. We never get through the Indian Tales because we always get sidetracked with something.
Yeah, we always do. It's Dices.
Yeah, Dices. Exactly.
That's an Indian tale.
Yeah, Anthony.
That was fucking hysterical. Dices.
I love it.